your favorite Amanda Splatts, the Amanda Splatts Project. Just gonna kick around a few ideas today. See if anyone stops by, if any of the regulars, anyone. If you do, I'll be happy to change ideas. See what we can do. I'm gonna be creating a new character for the project today. For anyone who missed last month's episode of the Mahavre Project, which is the story that I write every month as part of my duties on the Amanda Splatts Project. I say duties, I fucking love it, it's a passion. But I think that's like a technical term. I'm down to 2 peps. Oh, cool. Last month's chapter, Amanda Splatts was brutally beaten down by the Rattlers. These anarchists who want her dead, want her humiliated, and they also want to recruit her to be one of their own. They want to ignore her, they want nothing to do with her, they hate her, yet they love her and they need her. And so they just beat the shit out of her on the side of the road. It turns out the sheriff that she was supposed to trust to take care of him, the sheriff's one of them. So she has nobody there to trust at the courthouse, no legal options left, and she was just beaten and bloody, left to lie in a ditch on the side of the road. And at the end of the story, her body started to dissipate. Her soul started to break down, because what Amanda Splatts is a roadkill VTuber. FlaVR roadkill stew, I think, was the original thing in the old documents. Basically, Amanda, for those of you who might not know, as far as the lore goes, as far as the story goes, she's initially a roadkill. There are a lot of, to put it how Zosmus Darkus brilliantly put it, when something dies, it leaves a mark. And Amanda is a collection of those marks that were left on that road. Her soul is composed of a lot of different things that died on that road, hence being the roadkill stew. And lying in the ditch, bloodied and beaten up by the Rattlers, Amanda's soul started to break apart again. And the things, whatever it is underneath Mahavre, started to claw her back. Hey, it's my birthday today! Happy birthday! Cheers! Don't worry, Amanda's not dead. Towards the end, we saw a shot of Alpha Splatts, who was Amanda from the future, masquerading as another one of her kind. And she's broken up, she's heartbroken. But she knew that this whole incident was the only way that Amanda would meet her. Now, who is her? That's what I want to determine today. I want to find out who her is. I'm going to go ahead and create a new protagonist for the project. Because what I want to do is I want to do like a 3... Why do I have my fucking headphones on? I'm not listening to that. What I want to do is I want to create a new protagonist who will let Amanda rest for a little bit, because Amanda's been wandering these desert sands for 15 plus years. And 2 plus years, almost 2 years on the project. This July it'll be 2 years. And originally I wanted to wrap up the story within 2 years. That was the initial plan, do this for 2 years, and then start streaming again as another character. But there's so much going on, and there's so many story beats I still want to hit, that's not just not going to be feasible. But I do want to at least wrap up the Rattler storyline, because what the Rattlers were, initially created as like a side enemies, like cannon fodder, but kind of never followed up on them. Even though I started making more of them, kind of like Monster of the Week type enemies. So I want to go ahead and do a 3-act play, quote unquote. Not a play, but a 3-act story. Write them in April, May, and June. And then in July, kind of wrap up the whole Rattlers thing and do a big special thing. Part of it is wanting to see Mahavre through fresh eyes. After all this time, having a new character take a look after Amanda's been wandering around here 15, 17 years. And half of it is just wanting to try to get my community involved. See who wants to get involved, see who's curious. We'll see who shows up today, see if anyone shows up. Just going through a couple of creative things. Alright, just double checking. I think my power is a little low. Not power, but my memory is a little low. I don't like it when it dips under 100 megs. So I'm just gonna brainstorm a little bit, see if anyone shows up. If not, I got an idea. I will. Hey, Jinx. I really want to see who shows up. If anyone shows up, like, I put the invite out, but you know, like, I know my community is like very small. I know it's very small. Like, I put out marshmallows and I shilled marshmallows for like a couple weeks before. In case anyone had any ideas, anyone wants to know, well wishes, birthday stuff. I didn't get a single fucking one this year. Last year I only got one and it was spam. This year I didn't get any. So the funny thing is, I got 2 people on Twitter when I posted the URL that gave a heart to that message, but none of them actually sent a marshmallow. So I'm wondering if those are spam or not. I'm wondering if I got people who are liking my posts that are just like spam and don't really exist. I'm gonna have to check up on all. And I'm gonna be after my birthday. I'm gonna be taking some time off to like look at a lot of things, see what works and what doesn't. I don't know if I'm gonna be taking a break or not. That's something I'll be determined over the next couple days. But I do know that at least next Sunday, I still want to continue doing Dokapon Kingdom. Well, I don't want to do Dokapon Kingdom because it's kicking my ass, but I made a commitment. I'll see the bit through. And it is cool. It is a cool game. With Sealy on the boys. So, at least I'll do that. So, this is gonna be a relatively short stream. Just see if any of my other regulars show up. I know Jinx is here, he's a homie. Helped me create Agent Keen, who originally helped set the story in motion. And I was worried that I myself wouldn't have anything to contribute. Could be bots, like 3 bot accounts follow me, I don't even post anything, probably. Maybe they're just like my profile picture. But this is gonna sound weird for anyone who's not familiar. I originally was worried I wouldn't have anything to contribute. Just going in blank. I had a couple of ideas, but I was really not happy with any of them. Like, the main idea I was gonna go with was like a nitrous who was isekai'd in her own timeline and dumped into Mahavre. But that just, she would not fit the vibe. She just would not fit in with the vibe at all. It'd just be way too out of left field, be a lot of stuff to explain. Just for like a character who's only gonna be here for a few months. So I was worried that I wouldn't have anything good to go on, but it's weird. Like, I tweeted about this. I entered a hypergogic state recently. I do this a lot, and I'm talking about these hypergogic states. Like, when I go to sleep, like right before I go to sleep, or usually right when I wake up from sleeping, I get in this weird, groggy, half sleep, half waking mindset. I hover there for a bit, and ideas just absolutely flood in. Absolutely just brilliance. Some of the best ideas I ever have and put into the project come from that state, like between sleeping and waking. It's the weirdest fucking thing. It happened at like 1 a.m. or midnight this morning. Like midnight, 1 a.m. this morning. Like, I went to bed early so I could get a full 8 hours of sleep. That didn't fucking happen. My spine decided it's not gonna happen. I don't think I'm gonna get 8 hours of consecutive sleep ever again in my life. I'll be lucky to get like 4. But I can run on 6 non-consecutive hours of sleep. So as long as I catch like a couple hours before the collab later, it'll be fine. And I had an idea, like, how could this tie to the project? Because I didn't just want this person to be some rando. I wanted to actually tie to the story, because if you remember the chapter, after the Rattlers left, and after Sheriff Justice, quote-unquote, the Justice, who's secretly one of the Rattlers, left and kind of tidied up the scene, so to speak, someone came out running from the church. She had made it to there was a small Christian church, kind of an old like schoolhouse in the distance. After that mysterious number, the 555 number. Whenever Amanda got to that strange place with the obelisks, she would get a call from a 555 number in New Jersey. And 555 is a zip code that doesn't exist. They use it in movies and stuff, so dumb fucking people will not call a number that they think is a real number. So this 555 number called her, and someone that sounded like the Grim Reaper told her to get in the car and go because the Rattlers had found her. And sure enough, the chariot had driven up. The Rattlers, the Hermit, the Magician, the Moon, the Hanged Man, Chariot, and the Justice, who turned out to be the Sheriff of Mahavre, Sheriff Mithril. And after they had left, and Amanda was lying bloody in a ditch, her body starting to separate, someone came running out of that church. And the question we're going to ask now is, who came running out of that church? And who are they? What do they look like? What could they... Since I'm not streaming a game or anything, I've got Brave running. I think just to help the potential chunkiness, I'll go ahead and close Discord. But I got Brave running, so I was gonna actually run a couple of potential... Now, I'm actually creating the character, the idea for the character. I was actually going to do, like, just create a run just coming off the top of my head. But as far as the actual picture of the character, I was going to do what I always do and just open up Bing Create or see what other AI artists available. I almost thought about opening up my Sora 2 account and making a little video or something. But that's gonna have to be later. Because they fucked up Sora 2 even worse. Oh my god. You used to get 30 credits a day, now you get 10. Out of nowhere, they cut the amount of credits you get by 67%. And that's not 30 videos, no. If you want a video that's longer than 10 seconds, or you want to generate more than one video at a time, because they will fuck up the original idea, you have to pay even more credits. And it's 10 every 24 hours. And they still detract it, even if it's something that you don't like. Even if you immediately have it deleted. And then you can get penalized if it's something that you have no control over, like if it thinks it's too close to a third-party character, even if it's original. My original character from the project, videos will get dinged because it like third-party content, because it's too much like an existing anime or something. It's stupid. The guidelines keep changing, and I'm not the only one who noticed it. So, among other things, I am looking for other options and other ideas. But for now, we will be using the Bing Create that I usually use. Although I don't use the DALL-E model anymore. I do use I use the GPT.40 in there. I may fuck around with Grok a little bit. I've heard good things about Claude, actually, or Google. In fact, that might be kind of fun. Once we decide what she looks like, what she is, we might try a few different AIs, see what we can get, what we like. But for now, we gotta answer the basic questions. Who? What? When? Why? No. How long? The question is who is she? I guess that'll be the basic stuff, like the name and the physical description. What is she? Like the physical stuff, like I believe Jinx was talking about possible different species and stuff, which is possible. We have Lagomorph, General Bun Bun, proud Lagomorphic American. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. When of this character. Here. We're not rigidly going into these categories through these traditional categories, but it's a place to start. In fact, I don't even know if the traditional categories will fit. We're not going to start with the name or physical description yet, but as far as the hypergogic state I was in, this is... Holy crap. Just having some issues with Bing Create, trying to do a few leftover things from last week. It actually dinged me for a fucking hour. First, like the lizard-like characters, that would be a bit cliche, overdone for desert settings. We'll see. We'll see. I wanted to get like an attitude and a background first, and then we'll see what we could put on that. So here was the idea I had. So. Red and black. Brown and country. Someone who died. I figured it would be nice to tie them to the car Amanda has now. Due to something out there. Kind of a hint that even though the Eldritch Rot has been around for a while, it's a sign that things are escalating now, that things are starting to attack. Something out there. The convertible red and black town country belongs to someone who died while man was out there. Something out there. Now, I'm trying to kind of determine who had the car initially, because the character was going to be tied to who had that car. So here's the weird fucking idea I had. The idea is that the car has gun stash in it and a camera built in when, and Amanda doesn't even know. Because whoever this character is, I was wondering maybe they're going to be a badass. Maybe they're going to be around here helping Amanda with the Rattlers, doing some of the dirty work that she doesn't want to do or she can't bring herself to do. Kind of like a little... And then I wondered, what if instead of some eldritch abomination out there, some monster that Amanda had to put a hole into, what if it was the Rattlers that killed the initial owner of this car? For some reason. Like, why would they do that? Who would this be? And then maybe this person is wanting to get revenge. So that would kind of drive her to be a lot more violent than Amanda was with them. Because even though they're harassing Amanda, spray painting her home, smearing her name, stopping her from jobs, getting singing jobs, trying to stunt her VTubing career and everything, actively trying to, like, they only just recently beat the crap out of her. Like, if they actually killed this person's, like, relative or friend or lover, family member or something, then it might be a bit more of an impetus to actually do something to him. Because Amanda's kind of a bitch. Even after all the shit she's had to go through. I think the only person she's actually shot in the story so far was like this lava monster a couple months ago. Not any actual persons. I look over the last, all the previous chapters of the project, and I'm like, Amanda's gonna have to grow a set at some point. And maybe this will help her do it. Metaphorically, of course. So, question is, why does the car have these things hidden in it? I don't know if they have this concept in Europe. I was wondering if you ever heard the concept of a sovereign citizen. I've been getting sovereign citizen videos in my feed recently, and I'm like, that actually might be kind of weird. There are a lot of ways to describe what a sovereign citizen is. It's someone who believes that the government does not have any power over them or any authority over them, and they live independently. Someone who adheres to a pseudo-legal belief that rejects the legitimacy of the federal government and claims individuals can opt out of its laws and regulations. Thank you, Brave. These individuals believe they're only subject to common law or their own interpretation of the Constitution and assert they are not bound by statutes unless they explicitly consent. Or, easier question, maybe they were a criminal. You know, just like a gangsta, straight up G. Because, you know, Mahavra's got like a retro kind of feel to it. Like the old, like, 60s, 70s, and then the OVA looks of the 80s and 90s. It's kind of been forgotten. It's a place that's kind of forgotten by time, as well as a place where time flows slowly. So maybe they're just a criminal with the guns and a camera in the car. Because the story is that whoever their body was returned to, the family was so grateful that they returned them that they just let Amanda have the car. So that might cross out being a criminal. Because if they were a criminal, then the police would want to look into that, especially if justice was as corrupt as we know she is. She would want into that car first. Could have been a gumshoe. Rattlers didn't appreciate it. That's another thought, yeah. Maybe they were, like, private. But I don't think, man, if they were criminal, that may be too tight. Like, too many people asking questions about it. May have been a possible detective. Or, even better, what if it was... And I know this is cliche as hell, so we'd have to figure a way around it. What if it was a bounty hunter? What, because the military who joined the Red Desert Army back in the day to help drive back the Eldritch Abomination, the rot in this land, the military has pulled out recently. We don't know why. We're assuming it's because of like funding and things like that. We're not 100% sure. But the military is out and things are starting to collapse. So maybe it's someone who wanted to pick them up on their own. Someone who wanted justice on their own. Because the Rattlers aren't being arrested. The Rattlers aren't being taken down for things. Because Sheriff Mithril's a Rattler. Sheriff is the justice. And I thought it was maybe a possible former Rattler. Or a mercenary who worked for the army on contract but stayed behind when they left. Ooh, I kind of like that. Ooh, I kind of like that, man. Yeah. So we could actually incorporate a couple things into that. Money hunter slash mercenary who worked for or close with the government and stayed behind the government because the money pulled out. Simple enough. The money pulled out. And you're not hiring. you know, just still investigating the Rattlers. Maybe they were pissed off at the Rattlers. Maybe they just, like, it's personal now after all the shit they've learned. Or maybe it really is, like, some of the rot in the background, some of the... You know, if it is military, then yeah, probably they would have been partners then. Person who died, or probably the old partner. The person. Sure. The protagonist. They probably work together. So that's actually kind of perfect. Thank you, Jinx. So that does meld a few ideas together. So bounty hunter, mercenary, with the money pulled out, they pulled out of their contract with the military because they stopped paying them. Now they're just trying to pick up jobs around here. Nothing personal until the person died. So they're not gonna know who died initially. If there's a camera in the car, I will be 100% honest. I wanted there to be a camera in the car, for exposition purposes. So in the first chapter, the act one of the play, quote unquote, we get a little easy exposition. It'll make it easier to read, easier for people to catch up. So, but they may not know. Amanda's only had this car for a couple months. They may not know. Like, they may not have a live feed, because the way that Mahavre is, it's weird. It's like a roguelike. The roads keep changing and interferes with everything, and if they don't have access to the government stuff anymore. So they're looking for their car, so they can get the camera, so they can find out who it was. So the story is Amanda... Okay, so when Amanda found the car after the previous occupant was killed by the Rattlers or by some eldritch creature, he returned it to their family, to their next of kin, who may not even have known about their hunting activities, and they gave her permission to keep the car. Family may not even have known the partner existed. A double life. It's possible the reason they call it that specific spot is because there's an old receiver from the war around there by the monoliths. That's possible, although I don't want to spoil anything, but I already know who 555 from New Jersey is. I've hinted at it before in the story, but I already know who 555 from New Jersey is. So the partner is looking for the car. Get back the money, guns, camera to see what happened. I don't think they know who Amanda is, other than that. Well, they probably spoke. Yeah, that's it. Probably have at least an inkling of who Amanda is due to talking to the family of the deceased in search for the car. I'm from New Jersey. Contact to this person. It's part of a different plot thread. I will reveal that eventually, but okay. So now we know why they're looking for Amanda. They're looking for Amanda to get their car back. They know talking to the family. I don't think they would be pissed off at Amanda though, because if they talk to the family to find out what happened, they'll know that Amanda fought valiantly, not valiantly, but fought alongside the person as they passed away. And that makes me wonder that makes me think it's... Now, she wouldn't have fought alongside them, unless it was the Eldritch things, the things from the darkness. Some kind of monster that, she would have no problem putting a hole in them, because they're just a lump of disgusting Eldritch flesh. That's possible. But the Rattlers could be on our radar too, because if you spend any time around the Havre, those fucking anarchists just kind of fucking around with everyone. Maybe she's got a problem with them also. Oh, hold on. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, I gotta take this. Bear me. Back. Sorry about that. I was Amanda Splatts. I got really worried because, I'm not going to say go too into it. Just in case she's watching. Welcome back, thank you. That Father Splatts isn't doing too well, like, mentally. I'm a hag, so my parents are hags. I think you can guess what I'm talking about. And it kind of became apparent when they came over for us visited on Friday. I was worried something had happened, but nah, she was just wishing me a happy birthday. So just talk about just a moment. Probably gonna just yap later before I play Red Dragon in with the gang. Okay, so I had a thought that would tie them both to the Rattlers, help take out the Rattlers, and tie it to the Eldritch things, because the fact that Amanda had to kill these Eldritch things with that fucking cannon of a Desert Eagle she has, that's a sign that things are escalating in Mahavre. Usually the rod is kept at bay by the vigilance of the Red Desert Army, or what's left of it. But now that the military's pulling out and the Red Desert Army's on their own, they may be getting overwhelmed. Things from the darkness may be starting to invade people's normal lives. And that was going to be the thing that killed the person in the car. However, what if, tying into the Rattlers, Amanda was initially supposed to be, like, she was courted by the Rattlers. She was courted by Fortune Faded, who ended up becoming the devil. She was initially supposed to be the Wheel of Fortune. So I was thinking, what if this new protagonist and her former partner ceased were members former of the Rattlers themselves. So it could mean former of the car. No, it's because they may have joined thinking they were a gang or a very or a bounty hunting outfit. Trying to make money with their special set of skills. But once they found out the Rattlers were a bunch of anarchists who just watched the world burn, they both bolted. Their allegiances only to each other and to the money, not to this group. Would give them reason to trust Amanda. She was initially supposed to be the wheel of fortune. So that's how I think we could probably. I didn't want them. I initially want to shy away from the Rattlers being the ones who killed them. Although I do want the Rattlers, I do want them to be the ones who, or her to be the one who takes out the Rattlers. With Amanda's help. Because the Rattlers, like I said, narratively, these story of the weak characters, the Rattlers, They need to be taken out because they need to focus on the main story. And that's Amanda, Sandruby, and Mossberg. I figured the fact that the Eldritch Rot is taking over in Mahavre and moving now as it is could also be tied to the fact I gotta start writing this shit down when I say it. The fact that the Rot is Rot, that'll be just a shorthand for the Eldritch. We have tricked the person, drive the location where the Eldritch thing was. Oh god, that is perfect. That is the type of thing that's the type of thing the Justice would have done. Since we don't know where Fortune Fated is, and we don't know where the tower is, Justice is kind of the de facto leader of the Rattlers right now. Oh, they were baited into it. Oh god, that's perfect. The fact that the Rot is getting stronger and that Eldritch abominations are swarming, attacking here and there. May tie into J. Mossberg Malgraves. Representative of the Rot and her breakup with Sandruby. Because remember, they were an item for quite a while when Sandy was Julia Impastore. And then at the 661, after seeing how Mossberg treated Amanda, she broke it off and broke off her past life. Although, as you've seen on the project, she has kind of backslid into being Julia, with her host in the club 661. But yeah, it was also seen in the courthouse scenes that Mossberg is escalating her plan to try to get back into the district attorney's office, try to get power. I do not know whether or not I want the Rattlers to work for Mossberg or whether they just want to be because the Rattlers wouldn't work for anyone except for the head of the Rattlers. But if Justice worked at the courthouse, she would know. Justice, A.A. Mithril, would know about attacks. And out of spite, she has spite for Amanda. May have led them to a spot where there was eldritch activity in the area, leading to one of them getting killed. She would have led Amanda there. She has led there as well. Hence, Amanda coming across the car and the former owner. So here's an idea I had when looking through potential cards. Seeing who's left over. The former owner of the car was the Fool. As symbolically, the Fool represents beginning of a new journey. Because that's what the Major Arcana is. And these are the things I learned from Mother Tifi. The Major Arcana is supposed to be a new story. Of the Fool's journey through the world, all his temptations, his trials and tribulations, the things he's learned, etc. new journey. And it might either have been ironic, or the former fool may have been also, that's a good idea. Fool is also innocence. So she may have been the more simple minded of the two. The other one was the brains of the outfit. Other one, brains of the outfit. So if we got time, like, I'll be done. Like, I got hours. Like, I don't do Red Dragon Inn until 4. That's like 8 hours from now. So I'm willing to go on a little bit long. I might be doing a little picture of who the fool used to be also. The former partner. So we've established that they're bounty hunters / mercenaries, worked for the government till the money ran out. And since they worked for the government, that's how Mithril might have gotten wind of what they were doing. And been able to execute her, because Justice is a nasty, vindictive, lying bitch, as we've seen with her manipulations of Amanda. So now the question is, who was the other one? And I think finding out who the other one was would kind of help us with a physical description and more of a personality. Because there's someone who would have been able to contrast the fool, and also someone who'd be able to contrast Amanda. Temperates or Emperor, maybe. Let's see, I got a Wikipedia of all the cards up. I just want to see which ones have not been done. So number 1, the Fool. Number 2, the Magician. That's the guy with the clown makeup. No, 0 is the Fool. My bad. 0 is the Fool. 1's the Magician. 2's the High Priestess. 3's the Empress. 4's the Emperor. 5 is the Hierophant. 6 is the Lovers. 7 is the Chariot, that's the driver. 8 is the Justice, that's Sheriff Mithril. 9 is the Hermit, that's the old lady in the disgusting, nasty, filthy costume. 10 is the Wheel, supposed to be Amanda. 11 is the Strength. 12 is the Hanged Man, that's the disgusting sniper guy. 13 is Death. 14 is Temperance. 15 is the Devil, that's Fortune Faded, the Naga woman who's disappeared. 16 is the Tower. There was a tower, but we've only seen her in flashbacks. 17 is the Star. 18 is the Moon. We know who the Moon is, the fake singer. 19 is the Sun. 20 is the Judgment. And 21 is the World. I kind of thought it would be cool to do the World, because if it makes sense that the Fool who's on one end of the journey, and then the World who's on the other end. But maybe the World could be someone, a character in the future. I'm gonna do a quick browse over. Okay, High Priestess. What is High Priestess symbolize? Open this up and put this on left. Ryder may look a little weird for a bit while I... No, I can switch between the two. I can switch between the two. Back and forth. Let's go through each of the remaining cards and see what would be the most interesting. Just a general description of what the card symbolizes. Interpretation: High Priestess, Unknown, All these are coming from Wikipedia. Unknown, mystery, intuition, spiritual knowledge, subconscious mind. Now I gotta remember which icon on the bar means what. Okay, so I kind of don't like the High Priestess. Because that's more like a psychic type of thing. Spirituality, stuff like that. So, the Empress. Symbolism of fertility. Is the inferior Garden of Eden, the earthly paradise, fruitful mother of thousands, fecundity. Yeah, the mommy. Fecundity, that sounds fucking gross. I'll pass. The Emperor. The Emperor is traditionally set on stone thrones, stability and unyielding authority. His posture is commanding, exuding a sense of control and discipline. Leadership, responsibility, and structure. Stability and protection. I don't know. Emperor sounds like he'd be more someone working in the government. Like, working in, like, the system. Because there may be more than one Rattler in the system. It may not just be Justice. Possibly, though. The Hierophant. The Hierophant stands for righteousness, sacredness, hierarchical order, orthodoxy, moral righteousness. Well, if he's going to be a bounty hunter / mercenary, that's not going to work. The Lovers. The Lovers. This is obviously attraction, love, beauty, trials overcome. That's not going to work. Yeah, I'm going through each of them. Oh, the Strength. Huh. The Strength card was initially named Fortitude. Power, energy, action, courage, magnanimity. Also complete success and honors. Reversed. Despotism, abuse of power, weakness, discord, sometimes even disgrace. Kind of like that. That might be interesting. Death. I'm going to pass on death. If I introduce death into the story, I want it to be something special. So just immediately get into a hard pass. Temperance. Economy, moderation, frugality, management, accommodation, reversed. Things connected with... Sounds kind of like an accountant or something. Someone who takes care of the money. I don't know. I don't think so. The Star. And I can't show you any of these because there's titties hanging out, man. I came across this problem years ago when I tried to do a tarot card stream. I could not show any of the decks on stream because they had titties hanging out. Like, I ended up having to use a cat tarot where it was just all cats. And I wasn't going to get dinged if their titties were hanging out. I'm not talking anthropomorphic cats or furries or anything. I'm talking like actual cats. In fact, it was so bad, the stream was so bad, I'd had it privated for like over a year before I dumped it after I was taking a break. In fact, I got a couple of privated or VODs that might be interesting to release coming up. I'll be going through them. So the Star. Loss, theft, privatization, abandonment. That wouldn't work. The Sun. Attained knowledge. Child of life. Judgment. That might be cool. An angel is depicted amongst the crowd blowing a great trumpet. card means rebirth, inner calling, absolution, karma, causality. That's more symbolic, more symbolism. Religious, like, I don't know. Now, I like the thought of the world. I like the thought of the world being with karma seems fitting. Yeah, possibly. The world being like that, the world and the fool were friends because that's the beginning and the end of the journey. Assured success, recompense, voyage, route, emigration, flight, change of place. Yeah, I don't know. So, of the two that I'm thinking about, I wanted either the Emperor or the Strength. Sounds good. So if I did the Strength, birth is with the Oshis, yeah, exactly. It was just because of where they're placed on the deck. It really wouldn't make sense. So. Ooh, this is interesting. So the Justice is Sheriff Mithril, the corrupt one. In some old tarot decks, the Strength and the Justice have switched places. Strength is traditionally the 11th card and Justice the 8th, but the influential Rider-Smith deck switched the position of these two cards to make them a better fit with the astrological correspondences. The switch was initially suggested in things I don't know. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with the Strength. Just because they're tied to the Justice. And switching places with the Justice in some decks. But I'll keep the Emperor in mind. Maybe they could be like a dispatcher or something, or like someone working in the background, maybe someone in the military. He could be like a mole in the military for the Rattlers or something. But I think our protagonist will be the former Strength. Partially, symbolically, tie her to the Justice. The two cards transposed in some decks. Strength times 2. So maybe she knows Mithril from way back, and that could tie into it too. Yeah, so she's a former Rattler. Ran afoul, like, this wasn't what they wanted, and on their way out, they ran afoul of Justice. And that's why... Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, shit, that's perfect. The fact that the former leader of the Rattlers, the Devil, Fortune, Faded, the Gorgon, the Fat Gorgon, the Fart Gorgon, she probably is missing, and that now Justice, Sheriff Mithril, is in charge. May tie to why the Rattlers took care of the two of them now. than the last couple. That's perfect. I love this. And this is why I'm sorry, and I apologize that I do a lot of these streams where I know what I want to do beforehand. I have the idea and I just write out. I like telling you a story. I do love telling you a story, but I also love just hammering out ideas and just poking around, and I don't do a lot of that. Like you said, the next few streams are going to be this woman, the former strength, um, and her revenge, and her meeting Amanda, who was supposed to be the former wheel. So they've got that tied there too. They've both run afoul of the Rattlers, although Amanda never actually joined the Rattlers. She was going to, but then Sandy interfered and told her not to do it. Because they're just fucking anarchists. And that would be perfect. That's what with the devil disappearing, and now with justice. I keep spelling sheriff wrong. That may tie to why the Rattlers took care of the two of them now in the last couple months. That would also tie. Oh yeah. That would also tie into why the Rattlers are getting more aggressive and violent with Amanda now, after these issues have festered for years. So that's why things are moving forward now with the Rattlers, because Sheriff Mithril, the Justice, is in charge now. So the Strength is another person, the former Strength, and then thanks to her machinations trying to kill everyone, all the former Rattlers, all the people who crossed her, took out the former Fool. And now that's yet another reason for this woman who used to be the Strength to want to fucking ruin everything. So we've got the basic history. So go ahead and save. But I will keep an eye on the Emperor, because an Emperor who may make sense. Either as someone who was calling the shots for them, or for someone who was kind of a mole in the government. Whether it be the state government, or the United States government, or the government of Mahavra. The Strength. So this is a former, so the bounty hunter / mercenary. Initially joined with the Rattlers for a bit, just like Amanda almost did, but then they left when they found out that it wasn't what they thought it was. Ran afoul of justice, but fortune faded, didn't do anything at the time. She didn't think it was a priority, and that's why they just kind of let them and let Amanda go, because it wasn't a priority. But now it is. Now that justice is in charge. As much as you can be in charge of a group of anarchists, that is. How much can you really be in charge of a group of anarchists? So now we've got the history. She's looking to get rid of the Rattlers. Looking to venture for. First of all, she's looking. First of all, she needs to get the car back, because she knows there's a camera in there that could tell her what happened to her former partner. Now the question is, would she know about Amanda? She may have heard Fortune Faded pissing and moaning about Amanda, because Fortune Faded never got over Amanda not joining the Rattlers. She may have heard about Amanda. We're both invaded and through the former family. Alright. So we now have a history. Let's start. We need a good name. Need a good name, a good strong. Google. Okay, Google. You see, this is the type of shit I do on my own. When I have an idea at like 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning back in the day. And Leona. Ooh, that's nice. Leona is a feminine name given Latin origin meaning lioness. That is perfect. Plus, you know, Leona Hedern from the King of Fighters is one of my favorite characters. Although I gotta be too careful that I don't want her to be like a carbon copy of Leona Heiderud from Chaos. I want this to be an original character with her own traits and everything. And I kind of want her to be a contrast to Amanda. So, Leona. Good last name. I think Lionheart or Leonholt would be a little bit too on the nose. Last name. Lion. No, last name. The first name means on. Last name means strict. Yeah, I wanted to use the lion as like iconography, like nothing else. Armstrong. Last names meaning strength, alpha derivative from words for warriors, durability, protective traits. Armstrong, Steel, Valiant. Sorry, Leona Armstrong. That's Scottish. Leona Steel, that's a little bit too on the nose. Leona Stark, Leona Fortier. Ooh, I kind of like Gagliardi. Guerrero would be a good one. But then, you know, I'm huge into pro wrestling and everything. I have the whole federation and everything. I don't want them to, like, think I'm ripping off Eddie Guerrero, the legendary Guerrero family. I think I like Armstrong. There's a couple of Norse ones. Because I kind of want to do something Spanish to tie with the whole Mahavir. Like, I want them to be an original character, cool character, badass character. But I also want them to tie into the whole mystique of Mahavir. Like, I did that one stream that will not exist earlier this year. Either earlier this year or it was last year. Where I went over characters that were cool. Ideas I had that just did not fit the aesthetic. Like, there was going to be a priestess. Or a pro golfer. Or a samurai woman. Cool ideas I had, but they didn't fit the aesthetic. So... I like Guerrero. I like Armstrong. There's a surnames.behindthename.com. Let's do Spanish. Search by Spanish. There's a few generic ones that are like pretty common. Espinosa, Garrido, elegant or ostentatious. Ortiz, brave, strong, or fortunate. Valencia, from the Spanish city of Valencia. Ooh. Oh, you know what? Something peaceful sign in contrast with the violence. Yeah, maybe. That might be. I was thinking maybe like a lot of Spanish people have two last names. Because the way that the Spanish naming conventions are, if you ever wonder why, there's a large Spanish contingency here in Mojave, IRL. It's because like sometimes it'll be a combination like both the mother and the father's lineage. So that's why some Spanish people will have two last names. Mexican people. Because if we're doing the strength and someone based on a lion, I could see this woman as just an absolute fucking ball buster. Absolute destroyer. So I could do both if she's gonna like have Spanish origin or Mexican origin, Southwestern. I could do Armstrong and then something else. I'm looking up ones for peace. Spanish last names. Or maybe foolishness. Kind of tie her back to the fool. Oh God, perdido. Perdido. Meaning lost or forgotten. It can denote a lost soul or someone acting foolishly or without direction. That'd be perfect to tie her to the former fool. And if she's just going off the fucking hinges, just going crazy, that's perfect. So, Clement, some she used to be until now. Merciful, gentle, or gracious. It's more of a European name. So yeah, if she'd be a lost soul, yeah, I think I like Perdido. Armstrong. Wait, which would go first? And I'm not gonna do a ton of research into this bet, unless I like really end up liking this, because it amazes me when I was looking back at the project and how this is kind of like a Mojave type region. How there's not a whole lot of Spanish representation. Like I don't speak a lot of Spanish or anything. Like a little, I can get by. But it might be interesting to look into that. Maybe ask around the problem of that. Perdido Armstrong. Yeah. Which Spanish last name goes first? The father's surname comes first, followed by the mother's. Yeah, Perdido Armstrong. That would make more sense. It sounds better and technically would make sense too. Perdido on her father's side, Armstrong on her mother's side. So she's Perdido Armstrong. Strong, brash, somewhat without direction. Following the money of the bounty head, because she has nothing else going on in life. Paired up with her former partner. Cool. As a contrast to her. So, oh, this is good. Having Leona be more aggressive and hot-headed, but lost and directionless, would be a good contrast to Amanda as well, who is cautious to a fault, yells and curses, but is really... God, what's the best way to describe Amanda? How, like, she's really pretty broken and timid inside. Happy birthday, King Hazov. Thank you for stopping by, my man. We are working on creating a new character of the project. We got a name. We got somewhat of a background. And we got a reason for this person to exist. And we got an attitude. An absolute, just aggressive fucking... Maybe she was too aggressive for... Maybe she was too aggressive for fortune. Faded as well. And wasn't afraid to tell Jeff Mithrow where to stick it. So, I like that. Leona Perdido Armstrong. I'm gonna say I've got to look up what LPA is just in case it's the initials for something horrible before I decide to call her LPA. What is LPA? Lasting power of attorney. A legal document enabling a trusted person to make decisions for another regarding finances if they lose capacity. It also refers to lipoprotein A, a genetic blood factor for heart disease, or Little People of America, a support organization. No, she's not going to be LPA. Maybe that's what... Maybe she's got a belt buckle or something that says LPA. So now we have a history and he just fucking gives no fucks. This woman just gives absolutely no fuck. Amanda overthinks stuff way too much. This person has no fucks to give whatsoever at all, and that's gonna be a lot of fun to write. Just so you give. I'm trying to look over. Think about the other members of the project, the main cast who might be like this. Bun Bun's more of a sassy little southern sweetheart. Sand Ruby, She's very enigmatic. Her intentions most of the time are an enigma. Juliet Romero, doesn't have much of an identity. Just as gauged by the way her face is hidden in shadow, she's whatever she's needed to be. Agent Keen of the Wataberas, she's very serious, very cold and calculating. Alpha Splatts is Amanda Splatts with a little more confidence and a lot more power. So yeah, just go. I'm excited for this shit. I am. So now we have the attitude. We got the name. Professional bird flipper. Yeah, she'll flip a bird. She'll flip a table. She will go fucking ham on them. So now I want to get started on the physical appearance. What's this person going to look like? Because I might do a little background on who the fool was in my own time while I try to think of it. But I want to see what did she look like? Number one, so physical appearance. I wanted her to be a contrast to Amanda. As Amanda usually takes care of her appearance, suits, and blazers, and the like. And only recently switching over to the Hawaiian shirts. LPA would be she'd probably not. The problem is, if she doesn't wear a whole lot, I don't know if I'll get dinged again for trying to generate a picture of her. Certainly fit and muscular build. Yeah. And as a contrast to Amanda's frail, bony, androgynous build. Yeah, LPA would be. That's just a working title. I'll come up with a cooler nickname for her somehow. LPA would be buff, not superhuman like Alpha, but still pretty buff. The bar fight for a brawl with Bounty Head. Probably pretty tan from being out in the desert sun all day. Yes. Pale skinned. The more I describe Amanda, the more I talk shit about her. Like, brunette or ginger with what's thick, puffy hair. Yeah, I wanted to tie her being the strength into the former strength into the hair. Like lion type hair. They had shit in the 80s. I might be able to tie this into that 80s, 90s anime aesthetic. Because they had some big hair back then. Hair in 80s or 90s anime. I'm kind of thinking... maybe the cat girls from Dominion Tank Police type of thing. Gender with freckles just to make it slightly cute. I don't know about the freckles, but I do like the fiery red hair. Pull the Facebook picture. Hold on. Can we even visit Facebook anymore without logging in? I ain't logging in. Even though there is a group called 80s, Golden Age of it, 70s, 80s, 90s anime. I'll take a picture of it with my snipping tool. Because that would tie in with the whole 80s, 90s anime OVA aesthetic. Because I want her to contrast Amanda, but I also want her to fit in with the aesthetic of Mahavri and the Mahavri project. So get the right pictures. I got 2 folders, screenshots and captures. I keep forgetting which one is which. Screenshots is for when I take a picture with the snipping tool, it automatically takes a picture and saves it to screenshots. Captures is when I hit the middle button on my bullshit Xbox controller to take an automatic picture of a game if I can't get to the screen capture fast enough. It's loading up now. It's catching up. There's the lunar subterrane. But yeah, this is like, I was looking through Google because I love using Brave as a browser, but I hate the Brave search. And I came across this Facebook post. For an upcoming blog post on anime style in the 80s, I'm reminded how much I love the big hair from that decade. So the crazy big hair would fit the anime aesthetic. Plus, it would go with her being the strength, or the former strength, because it'd be like a lion's mane. So it'd be perfect. That would actually be perfect. The corner for inspiration. Big 80s hair, blazing red. A lot of effort, but it's just naturally leonine. Hair, skin. What color would her eyes be? What color are a ginger's eyes? What color? Not sure how much sense it's gonna make. Maybe she's ginger on the Armstrong side. That's it. Brown redheads are rare because usually mixed phenotypes. Green eyes are the most common eye color among gingers, followed by blue and hazel. Yeah, green. Yeah. Bright green eyes to go with the ginger aesthetic on her mother's side. Got the build from her father's side. It's ironic her father is the one named after the fool and her mother is the one named after the lion. I think that's kind of funny. So what do real bounty hunters wear? Clothing and gear that balances practicality, discretion, and legal compliance, depending on the phase of the operation, specific regulations. Everyday / stealth wear for surveillance and low-profile trafficking. Many bounty hunters dress as civilians. That makes sense. You want to blend in, like being a ninja. People think ninjas are like fucking Naruto. No, back in the day, ninjas just wore normal shit. Like, they dressed as farmers and stuff, so they would blend in. They don't advertise. This would be like this, too. But when preparing for shit to go down, black camouflage pants, multi-pocketed vests, yeah, tactical vests. What if she had some tactical shit? Usually wears jeans and a top to show off the guns. This top to show off the guns, but has a t-shirt and cargo pants. Yeah, I kind of like the cargo pants. They'd be more comfortable. Loose cargo pants. But when it's time to get serious, she has her tactical gear hidden in the car. Like a vest. Maybe she got a tactical shovel. Like, remember when Markiplier bought a tactical shovel? It was like a shovel for like the military and shit. Maybe a tactical shovel, but definitely a vest. He wants that shit back. The tactical gear and weapons stashed in the car, hidden in panels, is worth more than the car itself. Amanda can have the town and country. So, I think that'd be a nice compromise once they work everything out. Like the tactical gear and shit that's in there, hidden in the panels, hollowed out shit. Maybe there's a hidden compartment under the bottom of the trunk. That's worth more than money than... And she hides the shit because she knows she has to have the tactical shit hidden because she knows Sheriff Mithril has a vendetta against her. Oh my god. I'm so fucking happy right now, man. I sometimes struggle with stuff for the project. I really do struggle with shit for the project, trying to make everything cohesive. But when an idea just starts coming together, I love it when ideas start coming together. So she's just a badass, no bullshit, loud, proud, fucking ass kicker making money. And if you ain't talking about money, you shut the fuck up. Except she's gonna be working on revenge now. Because even if the former fool was killed by the eldritch things in the darkness, if it was Sheriff Mithril that led her there, she'd won her. And while Amanda would have the emotional, I don't think Amanda's ever killed another human being. Amanda's never killed another human being, but I'm pretty sure LPA would take the phrase "dead or alive" as like a coin flip. They're worth more money alive than she'll try. She'll fucking try. So I think we've got a pretty good idea. You're pretty badass. Deep, powerful, booming voice with angry growl. Broken Jaw is still alive. Exactly. If they could just put him in a sack, dump him at the courthouse, and then you know what her Venmo is. You'd send her the money. Exactly. So, and just a little gap. Just a little gap away to help her and endear her to Amanda. What's one little thing that she might like or be into that Amanda's into that they could get? Because these two just completely different contracts. Like, Amanda would be scared shitless of this woman. Amanda would be scared shitless. What's one thing they could share? I like that she... How about coffee? She loves coffee. Coffee. And gambling. Yeah, that's perfect. And gambling. Because, like I said, we know Amanda is alive. Even though her soul is breaking apart and dissipating into the different parts right now. Breaking apart in the darkness underneath Mahavre. She is still alive. Because Alpha is still alive. And at the end of the story, Alpha just pounding away in pain and anger in the rock quarry alone, because she knows that this whole incident is the only way Amanda's gonna meet Leona. Knows that the near death experience is the only way you'll meet LPA, who was in that church that day praying for her former partner. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's the one question I had left. Why is she in the church? she was praying for her former partner's memory. And then she comes out and she sees there's the car. And the sheriff is speeding away. And now we're just gonna see what fucking happens. Oh my god, that's perfect. Oh my god, I fucking love when ideas come together. I love it. I love it. Like I said, this wasn't gonna be a very long one today. I think we've done most of what we need to do. Except one more thing. I want to get some pictures out in Bing Create. I want to try a few different. But please bear with me. I do not feel comfortable sharing my... actually... I want to see if maybe there's a... No, just... It'll just take a moment. I will save whatever picture goes through. And just upload it like I did with that screenshot. So yeah, it's perfect. I'll temper the idea over the next couple days because it's going to be a few weeks before we get to the next chapter, obviously. So I'm going to open up a few different ones. So let's open ChatGPT. I got Bing Create open. Can you use ChatGPT without logging in? I don't want to fucking log in. Gemini. Could probably log into Google. I was using Google. I know you can use Google Gemini without logging in. Or rather, just log in with your Google account, because I was using it to do some picture stuff. Like, there was kind of a meme, like, maybe I'll show pictures of it if I can dig them out, where people used a prompt to make 3D images, little statues of 2D pictures, sitting on a desk. Like little statuette. It was kind of neat to see the AI render a 2D picture as a 3D statue. And let's do Grok also. Yeah, that'll be a good tableau. Bing, Create, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok. Because I'm getting really sick of ChatGPT. Or I'm really getting sick of Bing Create. I am looking for alternatives. Like I want to tweak around with Civet AI. I know that's a nice one. But usually I get the 80s. I used to get the 80s anime aesthetic I look for all the time with Dolly 3. But Dolly 3 is starting to cannibalize itself. It's starting to... The AIs... I think the AIs are getting fucked up. Because the AIs are starting to... Like, a lot of the AIs, like I believe the Google one and the Bing one, they go by the images they have in the searches. And in the searches, what they have is... Like, the images, they have a lot of AI images, because there's just a lot of AI images now. So it's starting to cannibalize itself, and everything's looking really, really samey. Okay, so... Good prompt. Oh, you're a woman. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. And meeting, friending. LPA may or may not set Amanda down the road. to eventually becoming a muscle-bound. Who knows? Who fucking knows? Tall, muscular woman with a snarling expression. Muscular, tanned woman with a snarling expression. Angry, snarling expression. Like a tiger snarling. Don't want her to be extremely, like, I want her to be jacked, muscular, but not oversized. Like, not like she's into buff. She's not buff because she's trying to show off. She's buff because she's got to win some fights. Very. With long 80s style hair, the shape reminiscent of a tiger's mane. They're not a tiger. I almost thought about being inspired by Tiger Mask, the legendary luchador Tiger Mask, but no, that's a tiger, not a lion. Yeah, you got. I was thinking of Tiger Mask. My bad. Long, bright red, and fierce shade eye. Black, leaveless, low cut. No, not low cut. I noticed if I use the word low cut, I'll get banned. I didn't want to show off her pecs though, because that's just what I'm into. Like sleeveless, tank top, and heavy strap, shoulders, and baggy cargo pants. Holding a, what would her main weapon be? I want to say brass knuckles, like maybe some lion design knuckles or something, but that wouldn't be practical if you're like, you gotta get in. She probably doesn't have a favorite weapon. She probably just uses whatever she needs to for the task at hand. Holding a tactical shovel in one hand. Leaning against red and black wood paneled station wagon in the desert, middle of the day, art style of a 90s anime, hand drawn, cell shaded. I would run this through. Maybe I'll run it through Sora later, but I don't think my Sora credits refill until like 1 o'clock today. They fucked up Sora. I'm so pissed off how they fucked up Sora. It used to be 30 credits, now it's 10. Oh, very muscular tanned woman with an angry, snarling expression, with long, bright, red 80s style hair. Voluminous. I want big fucking 80s hair. Big 80s hair. Like bubblegum crisis type shit. Probably if the combat knife was more like smack with a broken table or something within reach. Yeah, that's a good idea. Having a serrated tactical knife and black sleeveless top and spaghetti strap shoulders and baggy cargo pants. Next up, with spaghetti strap shoulders. Holding a serrated tactical knife in one hand, leaning against a red and black wood paneled station wagon in the desert. The red and black wood paneled convertible with the top down. In the desert in the middle of the day, and may hand drawn so stupid. That sounds good. So let's see. So I'll put this into Bing Create. Put this create image. GPT. Put this into Google Gemini. I'll put this into Grok. We'll go the whole gamut of free shit. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Oh my god! Oh shit! I kind of like what Bing did. It didn't get the tan color, but oh my god, that's horrifying, and I love it. Oh, I'm saving it. I'm saving it. Potato, please understand. I've actually got an offer from someone I trust, to borrow their computer potentially if I want to, because they got more cores. I might have to re-roll it for the skin color because it's not deep bronze Spanish, but oh my god, this is kind of horrifying and amazing, and I love it. Yay. This is from Bing. And I'm saving it to my AI folder. So that should take not nearly as long as, because with my AI folders now, I make a new one every month. So it's just easier to sort through by the month instead of having to load the entire folder at once. So look at that shit. That is Bing Creates interpretation of LPA. I kind of love it. I kind of love it. She's so pissed off, like, she got the wild. It's crazy. It's the hair is wild, but it's still big and voluminous. I like it. I'm gonna re-roll it though to see if I can get that more tan skin. It's not really that much of a snarl either. But that is so fucking cool. Okay, what does ChatGPT say? She kind of reminds me of Rila from Breakers. maybe I'll use that as a base. This one is UPT. Okay. Pull the next one up. So this is what ChatGPT came up with. I kind of like it. She's kind of leaning more casually against the car. She's casually got the knife in one hand, like in the one from Bing. Looks more female than the first one, yeah. In the one from Bing, it looks like she's actively getting ready to stab a guy. In the one from ChatGPT, it kind of looks like she's just chilling. Okay, so what does Google Gemini have? Okay, it didn't save it to my, it just automatically saved it to my downloads folder. Oh no, here it popped up. Well, LPA Gemini. So this is what Google Gemini thinks she looks like. I'll put it in the background because most of this is just the desert in the background, but I don't think I like this one. I don't think I like that one. I don't know. She seems too small and wiry. It gets the hair right. It gets the hair really nice. So what does Grok think? Grok came out a little weird. Grok gives you two at once. I'm not totally happy with either. She looks a bit more calm and thuggy in that. Yeah, I don't like it. Okay, Grok. Pulling it up now. This is what Grok thinks she looks like. I don't like the Grok. I don't like the Grok one. It feels generic. Like she's buff, she's got the knife, she's got the station wagon. But something about just looks boring to me. I don't know what it is. Kind of like it tried to do... Yeah, like it's trying to do a specific anime. Now, with Bing Create, I can say the name of an anime. And it could try it out. Because I have done gens out of, like, certain... So let's see if I can do, like, Bubblegum Crisis. Maybe... I did a second run at Grok. Oh my god, that's even more terrifying. I think it's cool. It's just scary. And this, if she's just angry, like, this is also a really good contrast to Sheriff Mithril, who's kind of slow, honey-talking, really deceitful, more quiet, kind of double-talking, manipulative type. She just has no fucks to give. That's actually a really nice contrast. Yeah, look at that shit. That's the second attempt Grok made. That is downright feral. That's downright feral. So I'm gonna maybe try a couple more, like, let's bubble. Oh no, there's not enough room to put the whole name of the anime. Let's try it. See if they can do specifically Bubblegum Crisis. Because the Orawana Hurricane, that music video from that one episode, that's what I think of when I think of the big 80s hair and the flashy outfit. Though the outfit wouldn't fit her because she's all business. No, that ain't it. That's actually kind of revolting. Nah, I don't need to show you that shit. Rock tapped out on that one, or not Grok. Bing Create tapped out on that one. Running it through Google. And Google just took the original picture and made minimal tweaks that made it worse. So, no. Using the specific name of the anime design. But, there we go. I'm happy you stopped by, Jinx. I knew you were going to stop by. I was wondering. I tried to put out as many feelers as possible, but I guess, like, no one wants to get up at 7 a.m. to help an old hag write a story anymore. But I'm happy you did, and it is fucking cool that you did, man. I appreciate it. So there we go. Leona Perdido Armstrong. Just gives no fucks. Except now that her former partner has gotten killed, and she's looking for her car with all her tactical gear stashed in the panels, and the camera. It's time to get revenge. It's time to just be the absolute fucking badass that Amanda wishes she was sometimes. So that's the plan. Like, I may cut it short if I feel like it's not working, But the plan is I wanted to do like a 3-act story. The classic 3-act, you know, the ramp up of the introduction, then the confrontation, then the ending. That'll be April, May, June. And then July would be a big chapter with Amanda, where Amanda finally re-enters the story in May. Like, she may still appear, just so we know that she lived through the beating and dying in a ditch and her soul dissipating. We may... Oh, got better save this. But it's going to be focusing on her for the next few months. And hopefully this will refresh the story a little bit. Getting someone else's perspective on Mahavre, with the things she's done, the people she knows, the way she handles things other than Amanda does. Because Amanda really has not been doing much as a protagonist. So maybe this will help jumpstart that too. So yeah, there we go. Don't feel a need to drive that. I think we did exactly what I came out here to do today. There we go. So 4 p.m. today, Red Dragon Inn with Carl Malone, Yoko Minato. I'm trying to remember who RSVP'd. I think almost everyone did. Carl Malone, Choco Minato, T1 Glistener Elf, who I've played it all with before, and Sensoka and Star A Kaimoto, who I've never played it on stream before, but I did a couple of private games with them to teach them how to play. So the 6 of us playing Red Dragon Inn at 4 p.m. I want to get at least 2 to 3 rounds in. But I also do want to karaoke at 10 o'clock. Because I figure at the core of the things I want to do, creative writing. I want to do more interactivity with my chat and everyone. I want to bring new people into the fold too, but I still value the chatters that have been here since the beginning and the ones that hang out and help out. It is deeply appreciated, Jinx. It is absolutely deeply appreciated. But I also want to grow the chat. I also want to bring people in as well. So I've been actually reaching out to some of the games that I play, the Discords for them. See if I meet new people that way too. And even a VTuber that I found out about through Sora. There's a character named Chillco. I'll see if I can pull up some of the videos at some time. Chillco, who... It turns out like she's just very popular, like one of the most used characters on Sora, because you can use characters that people upload to make your videos, and she's one of the most popular ones. And didn't know she was a VTuber in Japan who uploaded her image to Sora, and now super popular, and even people in the States are using her. And I used her in a few videos without even knowing who she was. That was kind of neat. Meet some amazing people doing this, and I want to stretch out that reach. I want to the people who have been here with me, I deeply do appreciate it. And it's always so fucking cool that you're willing to come back and hang out with me and help me out. But I also want to bring new people in as well. So it's a weird balancing act, it is. And I thank you for so today, like I said, my birthday's today. I think I'm gonna order a pizza. I order a pizza once a year on either my birthday or like the 4th of July if I wasn't able to do it on my birthday. So I'm gonna get a fucking pizza. Hopefully it's here by the time Red Dragon Inn is ready. And I don't have a set list. Like, when I say I don't have a set list for karaoke, I don't know, like, usually I put out what I'm gonna sing in order. I have the songs I want to sing. I got some new ones, mostly older ones, but I don't have the order I want to do them in yet. So yeah, look forward to that. I'm gonna try to catch a few hours of sleep, get a pizza, maybe mess around a little bit with LPA, this new character that you'll help create. Jinx, thank you for everything. Zos, thanks for stopping by. Lurkers, VOD Watchers, Second Screen Saints. I'm gonna go ahead and change the thumbnail to put LPA in there. And then I'm gonna fuck around a little more. I do thank you to the Amanda Splatts project. I'm your faithful Amanda Splatts. And it's the Amanda Splatts project. You have a good day.